if you're looking to shift the trajectory that your life is on, to head your timeline into a more desirable, pleasurable future and now, then by exploring your numerology and your astrology and getting to know the life path that you chose in this time will help you have compassion for yourself, help you start to recognize your connection to all that is and become the observer and actually be able to manage your existence rather than operating by habit. Then let's look at how to calculate that life path number and start to see what your spirit, what your higher self, what your soul intended for you in this lifetime as an earth warrior and a front runner in the shift in humanity that we are living in today. So in calculating our life path number, I would be remiss to say, just like everything else, especially now in this time in life, there is disagreement on how to calculate the life path number. But since numerology was established sometime BC, I didn't look up which year Chaldean or Pythagoras numerology was established or initiated, that's at least 3 calendar systems ago. We had the Julian calendar, we're in the Gregorian calendar, and what was BC, I don't know how they track time. I haven't studied history that way. So I'm not so certain that there is only one way, although a majority of numerologists do subscribe to the first method, which is reducing each segment of the birthday first. Reducing meaning summing it together. 8 and 6 are both single digits, so they don't need to be reduced. But 1911, 1911, 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 1 is 11, 1 is 12, needs to be reduced. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. Since it's not a master number, an 11 or a 22 or a 33, it will get reduced to a single number. Then you'll add the 3 together. 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 3 is 17, 1 plus 7 is 8. That's always good. So as I said, sorry about the camera, that this is my third camera and it still doesn't want to cooperate. The second way is adding across, and I see that, let me put that 9 back in. Adding across, 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 1 is 15, plus 9 is 24, plus 1 is 25, plus 1 is 26, 2 plus 6 is 8. Again. Or there is the old, I'm going to call it the old-fashioned way, that some people do this way. 8 and 6 is 14, plus 1 is 15, 2, 19, and then add it across to a 17, 8. Now, surprisingly, Lucille Ball does not come up to a master number, which I expected that she would maybe be a 44-8, but not in any way I calculated it. But these are the 3 ways you can look at your number. Now, if your birthday is in November, I would leave that an 11. Some numerologists reduce that to a 2, but since it's a master number, I leave it as 11. If your date is an 11 or a 29, it only gets reduced to a 9 is 11, and then you don't add that 11 together. Your birth date is part of your numerology birth chart. So that 11, even if it's a 29, 2 plus 9 is 11, is a slightly different lessons than the 1 and 1. 2 1s are independent and original and inventive, but a 2 is a number of partnership and balance, and a 9 is the humanitarian and humanity. So there are different lessons in the number 2911 versus 11. So again, what I was saying, if you reduce and your either birthday or year is an 11, a 22, a 33, you hold that and you add that in the sum. I'm hoping that that made sense, but you feel free to leave a message if you need further clarification on that, and I'll be glad to help you with your life path number. So, looking for somebody who is a master number to use as an example who's not controversial, I chose Michael Jordan. And just in case, let me clarify that if people think that Michael Jordan did something in his history, I think it was a financial transaction, that is a different Michael Jordan. I have researched that and it is not him. So Michael Jordan, his birth date, February 17, 1963. 2, 1 and 7 is 8. 1963 is a 19, 1 and 9 is 10, 2 and 8 is 10, and 1 is 11. Or if you add it the long way across, 2, 3, 10, 20, 29, 11. But in Michael Jordan's example, you can see if you add it this third way, he comes up to a 2. And sometimes that happens up here in these different methods of calculating the life path. And sometimes there is disagreement as to whether somebody is actually a master number, like an 11, or if they are really the number 2. So, partially, you want to know if you have a calling. The 11 is the wounded healer. Sometimes we have to discern, you know, do I have a life path that is a spiritual calling? Have I felt called and not known what I was called to do? Now, like Michael Jordan, I come up actually just like this. I come up as an 11, a 29, 11, and a 22. That is how 20/2, meaning if you add 2 and 0 together, you get a 2. If you add 2 and 9 together, you get an 11. For the 11, I could put the /2 because 1 and 1 is a 2, and the master number learns the lessons of their reduced number before they later in life step into the master number that they chose for this lifetime until they step into their life purpose. The life path number is our top number in our numerology chart. It's not our only number, and like astrology, there are layers upon layers upon layers. And it is not that you can just look generally at one number. But the life path number are the lessons that we came to learn in this life, and that will be enlightening, I think, to most people. So how about we pull some cards? What will we learn from our life path? What is it? What is the point of taking a look and knowing our purpose? There we go. The bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. The point is, we all came here to be teachers, because you wouldn't be interested in any kind of metaphysical anything if you hadn't. You wouldn't watch anything with tarot or be considering looking at numerology, knowing your life path for me or anybody else. So it's because there's a purpose. Yeah, many of us, that's kind of funny because I pulled this card for myself twice already this morning. 2 different decks. This is a third deck that the same card came out in. So it's, you know, we feel a little bit, many of us, defensive of our life, of our families, of the structures that we have built, the habit of our own identity. The wands are our passions, and he is holding on tight to the passion of the habits of his identity, as I see this in this card today. The 5 of Swords is the card that is going to cover this, of us doing what it takes. This is the card of winning at all costs. This is the card of us releasing our position and our defensiveness and stepping into the knowledge, the swords, in spite of all that stormy noise in the background of life in 2021. It's up to us to focus on the things, these messages of course are always for me, it's up to us to focus on the things that we need to take care of in order to advance our own lives, not to be looking at other people and what's happening in their lives. One day I'm going to learn how to manage the camera and the cards. It's about us turning our focus inward, doing what it takes, the card of winning at all cost. For a lot of us, we are confused and we are not certain which way to go. And knowing your life path may help you recognize an inner calling that you suppress. This is the card of illusion, delusion, not knowing which way to go. And knowing your life path can help you unearth the right cup to choose to start a new momentum in your direction. And help us know what structures we have set up that we need to walk away from into our better future. So that's really clear. Our life path is a roadmap for us to help us know. It's not going to tell us, it's going to remind us of something that has been in the back of our mind but suppressed by us because it is not the structure that we grew up thinking we were meant to follow. We're meant to take the new path. This is what learning your life path number can help you see where it is that you were meant to go. So that's the message for today. Day 12 for me, camera or not.